Marcus Williams signs with the Ravens. Russell Wilson gets traded to the Broncos. Devontae Adams gets traded to the Raiders. Khalil Mack gets traded to the Chargers. Amari Cooper gets traded to the Browns. Von Miller signs a 6-year, $120 million deal with the Buffalo Bills. Chandler Jones to the Raiders. Randy Gregory to the Broncos. Both Collins and Kappa to the Bengals to help improve that offensive line for Joe Burrow. Matt Ryan gets traded to the Colts. Deshaun Watson gets traded to the Browns. Juju Smith-Schuster signs with the Chiefs. Tyreek Hill gets traded to the Miami Dolphins. These are just some of the moves that have happened in free agency so far. Did you notice how many of those were just AFC? In fact, if I look at all of those, yeah, all of those are AFC. My God, what an offseason. This might be the greatest free agency in NFL history. So many stars have been moving to one conference. The AFC is as strong as it's ever been in the history of football. I mean, this AFC right now is a war zone. It's a war zone. Let's keep this in mind. There are 7 playoff spots. 7 playoff spots in the AFC. Based on how the AFC looks right now, one can argue that 12, maybe 13 of the 16 teams in the AFC are considered playoff contending teams. All 4 teams in the AFC West, 2 in the AFC South, 3, depending on how you look at it, in the AFC East, and again, depending on how you look at it, 3 or 4 in the AFC North. 12 to 13 teams are in playoff contention for 7 playoff spots. Do you understand what that means? If you don't win your division, you're not going to the playoffs. Most likely. Because there's so much competition right now in the AFC. If you don't win your division, you are not even close to being guaranteed a playoff spot. You could win 10, maybe even 11 games this upcoming season and miss the playoffs in the AFC. Hell, depending on how well these teams play and how competitive they look, 12 wins might not be enough to guarantee you a playoff spot in the AFC. That's crazy. Can't even lie. As a Ravens fan, I'm seeing some scary stuff right now. This is very scary because the level of competition over the last couple years has just gotten tougher and tougher and tougher. And as it continues to get tougher and tougher, we start to look back on 2019 and a thought in your mind comes in and it's like, yo, was that our chance to just steal an opportunity to get to the Super Bowl before this conference got tougher? Like, that was our best chance to get to a Super Bowl. And we blew it. I'm not saying we can't get to a Super Bowl with the way the conference is now. Obviously, we're one of these teams in contention for a playoff spot, as well as one of these teams in contention, when healthy, for a Super Bowl run. But with the way the AFC looks right now, with the way our division looks right now, with the state of the entire conference, it is much more harder. And considering the fact that we blew that opportunity, yeah, it's rough to think about. It's rough to think about. But yeah, we still have a chance to compete. But with every other team just getting stronger and stronger in the AFC, one can only imagine what's going to happen. And it's not even done. We don't know who else is going to be moving. Obviously, Baker Mayfield is somebody that still needs to go on some team. The Browns are looking to trade him now that they have Watson. Do they trade him to an AFC team? I don't know. I don't think so, but it's possible. You got 3 teams that you could probably look at and say, yeah, they're not a contending team. Or at least they're not a playoff contending team. You can look at the Jets, you can look at the Texans, and you can look at the Jaguars. Other than that, everybody else is looking like a team that can contend for a playoff spot. The fourth one, you can argue Pittsburgh in some people's opinion. I don't think so. Others were previously saying the Dolphins, but after the moves they've made in free agency, and I will talk about that, but after the moves they made in free agency, I'm not exactly sure you can sit back and say that they are not a team in playoff contention. So you've got 12 to 13 teams in the AFC, all looking like playoff contending teams, and you've only got 7 playoff spots. With the way the AFC West looks, nobody would be surprised if they take all 3 of those playoff spots. Same can be argued for the AFC North. It's crazy how things are looking right now. There's so much competition all around, and it's just getting tougher and tougher as it goes by. As a Ravens fan, there are some concerns. There are definitely some concerns. We've made moves ourselves in free agency, but I feel like there's got to be a lot more that needs to get done. Browns just got themselves an upgraded quarterback. I don't know if he's going to play, but if he does play, that's a very talented quarterback there. Obviously, you still have to put it all together on the football field, which we'll see if they will be able to do so. This is Cleveland, and they've struggled to do so throughout their entire franchise, so maybe things have changed. I don't know. We'll see. Then you look at Cincinnati. The biggest weakness on their team was the offensive line. They've spent this free agency fixing up their offensive line. They're not going to have problems with that this upcoming season. And Pittsburgh, even though they did get Trubisky as their quarterback, they've been making some moves to improve some spots defensively. So they're always a team that's going to be in contention for the division, especially with Mike Tomlin still there as a coach. So we look at that in our division. They look at the AFC West, and you see the powerhouses that are there now. Especially both bro, the amount of quarterback talent that's in that division, the amount of receiver talent that's in that division, the amount of pass rushing talent that's in that division, it's insanity. Right now, the only quarterback, out of all the young quarterbacks in the AFC, the only quarterback that's got to really be chilling the most has to be Josh Allen. Look what he has to deal with in the AFC East. If you're in the AFC West or the AFC North, you are in for a war for the division. But the AFC East? The Bills are in control of that division, and Josh Allen, as long as he plays up to his talent and play the way he's been playing the last couple years, there's no question they're clearly going to win that division. There's no question that the Buffalo Bills will be the division winners next season if they play up to their potential. Simple as that. So yeah, this free agency has been crazy. This is easily the craziest free agency we've had in NFL history, or at least it's the craziest free agency I've ever seen in my lifetime. The AFC is as strongest as I've ever seen it in my lifetime, and one can argue it's the strongest it's ever been in history. And this upcoming season, as a football fan, the AFC is something I cannot wait to watch, because the amount of talent that's there from the quarterback position, from the receiving corps, from the running positions, from the defense, what they have in that conference, my God, it's something special. And they found somehow Kansas City just lost a huge weapon in Tyreek Hill. It feels like it's even all around. It's even, in terms of the talent, it's well balanced all around. Now it's just about going out there and competing. It's fair game in the AFC. Nobody's favorite to win. Anybody can take the crown. What I wish to be in the NFC right now. What I would really wish. What I would give, in fact, not even wish, because wishes aren't going to do anything right now. You can wish as much as you want. Ain't nothing going to change. What I would give to put the Ravens in the NFC right now is just, man. But yeah, that's all I got to say. So many moves have been made in free agency. Even more is going to come up. You know, I don't really want to do the whole crazy reaction to each and every specific one. We all know they're great moves. It's a great addition to these teams, and it's just making the AFC conference even more competitive. So we'll see what other moves come out. But with that being said, that is all I've got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.